This is the largest and heaviest kidney stone ever found inside a human kidney. We're talking about an 800-gram stone measuring more than 13 centimeters in length and about 11 centimeters in width, which was removed directly from the kidney of Canistus Kungay, a 62-year-old from Sri Lanka who now holds the Guinness World Record for the largest, heaviest kidney stone. And now some of you will be wondering, but how is it possible for such a large stone to form inside a kidney? Who knows how much hard water they must have drunk? I mean, in the end, kidney stones are made of limescale, aren't they? Which has made the kidney stone grow. Actually, no. Kidney stones are not formed from calcium carbonate, and the limescale found in hard tap water is not a risk factor for kidney stones. So today, in this video, we'll dispel this myth. We'll look at why kidney stones form and what their chemical composition is. Let's start by saying that the condition can also be called renal calculi or nephrolithiasis. In fact, nephro means kidney, and lithiasis means stone formation, so they're small stones that form inside your kidneys, and they can vary in size from 5 to 20 millimeters. So that's from half a centimeter to 2 centimeters. As you can imagine, they can be very painful, especially when the stone moves along the urinary tract. Clearly, Canistus Kungay's kidney stone, the one we saw earlier, is an extremely rare case. It formed over a very long period of time and under very specific conditions, probably also as a result of infections or kidney malformations. So, just to be clear, not all of them are like that. Okay, now that we've got that, what are these little stones, these pebbles made of? The majority of kidney stones, about 75% of them, are composed of one of two materials, either calcium oxalate or calcium phosphate. Calcium oxalate stones are usually black, dark brown or brownish, while calcium phosphate stones are a bit lighter in color, they're whitish. In the remaining 25% of cases, however, these small stones can be composed of uric acid, cysteine or struvite. Now, with the exception of struvite, all these substances, including calcium oxalate and calcium phosphate, essentially form because our urine is too concentrated, meaning it's not diluted enough, and crystals begin to form. Then, around these tiny crystals, small stones begin to take shape. The kidney stones form. Struvite stones, on the other hand, are so-called infectious stones, which means that they do not form as a result of your urine being too concentrated, but are caused by a proteus infection, which is a type of bacterial infection. So that was, let's say, an overview of the chemical composition of the stones. Now, how do they form? That is, what are the risk factors? Since the majority of kidney stones form precisely because your urine is overly concentrated, the primary cause is, in fact, dehydration. If you don't consume the right amount of fluids every day, which is on average 2 liters for females and 2.5 liters for males, the first tiny crystals can form in your kidneys, and these could then grow into actual kidney stones. However, it should be noted that it also takes a genetic predisposition for the condition to develop, so if one or more family members have already suffered from kidney stones, there is a higher likelihood that you'll be affected. The other risk factors invariably involve lifestyle choices, such as an unbalanced diet that's too rich in animal proteins, salt and sugar, and lacking in fruits and vegetables. Additionally, there's the intake of large amounts of limescale from drinking tap water, which contains high levels of the substance. No, we're joking. We've said many times that this has nothing to do with it. In fact, the opposite is actually true. A high dietary intake of calcium, including from sources such as limestone, reduces the risk of kidney stones. So it has precisely the opposite effect. Therefore, it makes no sense to avoid calcium-rich foods such as milk, let alone to stop drinking tap water. Because, as I mentioned at the beginning, the limescale in tap water does not cause kidney stones, and kidney stones are not composed of limescale. Unfortunately, this is a myth that has circulated a lot, especially because it's easy to remember. In Italian, limescale is called calcare, and kidney stones are calcoli renali. Both start with calc, and so they have become a pair that's extremely difficult to separate, meaning they are often linked together. The fact is that kidney stones are not composed of calcium carbonate, and limestone does not cause kidney stones. So now that we've understood all that, what can we do to prevent them? Okay guys, now I need to say something that's really important. I am not a doctor, and generally when it comes to health stuff, you should forget about the internet, forget about Geopop, and go directly to your family doctor. The information that we're giving you is general information that can be found both on the website of the National Institute of Health and also in the guidelines of the European Association of Urology. Generally speaking, to prevent the formation of kidney stones, it might be helpful to reduce the intake of a number of things. Foods that are high in oxalates, simply because, as we mentioned earlier, kidney stones can be formed from calcium oxalate. Then we have foods rich in animal proteins, and it would be advisable to limit them to about 1 gram of protein per kilogram of body weight. So if you weigh 60 kilograms, that's about 60 grams of animal proteins. Another thing is sodium, or table salt, the consumption of which should ideally be limited to between 3 and 5 grams per day. And then there's vitamin C. In fact, we often take more than we should, more than we need to, but in reality, our intake should be reduced to what we actually need, to the correct amount. So those are the things to limit. However, in general, the correct diet to follow to reduce the risk of kidney stones, as well as to improve cardiovascular health and prevent 11 types of cancer, is the so-called Mediterranean diet. In brief, this diet is based on the abundant consumption of plant-based products like fruits, vegetables, grains, and legumes, a moderate intake of dairy products, and a low level of meat consumption. Remember, we've only given you general information. It's not like we're going to stop eating almonds because they contain oxalates. However, if we maintain a healthy lifestyle with a balanced diet and the right intake of fluids, regardless of what they are, be it bottled water, filtered water, or tap water, we can rest easy. We can drink our 2 liters or our 2.5 liters without needing to worry too much. Thanks again to everyone for watching this video. As always, see you again soon on Geopop, Everyday Science. Until next time.